I'm so excited to introduce to you something that I've been wearing and loving for some time now, and I think you will too. For me, when I braid or teach or go throughout my day, style and comfort are a tie for my number one priority. And that's why I love Clove shoes. I mean, you can't spell clove without love. That's CLOVE. And they started making sneakers for the healthcare workers like nurses who need good support for long shifts on their feet. Same as in beauty and with creators, right? You're on your feet on the go all the time. And that's what these shoes are for. They're also waterproof and they wipe clean, so there's no worries about spills or stains from any products you use. And on top of that, they're super cute. And there's so many colors for you to choose from, so it'll go with any look you have. I'd love for you to try a pair, so I've got an offer code for you. Visit goclove.com/Karyne and use code CLOVEKARYNE, that's Clove, then my name, KARYNE, for 20% off your first pair. You might start collecting them like I do. That's Clove Karyne for 20% off your first shoe order at goclove.com/Karyne. Welcome to the Art of Braids. I'm your host, Karyne Tenord, and today's solo episode is about braids and burnout and how I protect my passion. All right, so first things first, we want to recognize our early signs of burnout, right? For me, I used to feel tired all the time, a lot of fatigue, overeating, like especially junk food because I'm like on the go. Yeah. So I used to feel really tired, irritated, like ready to just give up on the craft. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm done talking myself out of things. And so you want to notice like the early signs, the red flags is when you start to dread going to your clients and you coming up with excuses on why you should cancel. Or you're just lack of inspiration. Like you're just kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. And you also feel really drained after doing the work. Those are early signs, that red flags that you should be like, no, let me not, you're starting to burn out. And so I want you to start listening to your body, listening to the emotions that you're getting, because those are early indicators that, yeah, something's not right and you're on the precipice of burnout. And to avoid all of this, you have to start setting boundaries without the guilt. And what does that look like? Setting boundaries without the guilt is learning to say no to certain things. If there's a style or a certain time frame that is outside of your scope, say no. There's a reason why you have a cap. There's a reason why you have a certain time. Like, hey, I work on these days. You already set that. You already set the stage for that. If you don't have a style that you offer and a client is telling you to do that, instead of stressing yourself out of saying, oh my God, let me try to figure out how to do this to please this client, and you've never done it before, tell the client, I can suggest this hairstyle that I am comfortable with doing, but if you are adamant about this hairstyle, maybe you should let me refer you to someone else who might be able to do it. Start to decline money. Not everything needs to be yours, right? Like you can be like, this is outside of the scope, or I no longer do this, or yeah, I know this is going to take a lot of time, like the boho braids. I had did that one time. There's a couple of styles that I've done, and it took up over 15 hours of my time, and I didn't calculate that, and I was just like, yeah, this is probably going to be not on my service, but this stuff is not going to be something that I offer uh, because I see the amount of labor and work that it's going to take for one person to do. And when someone now says, hey, can you do this? I'm already no, because I already know how it felt when I did that. So I don't want to take myself back there. And because that is going to lead to burnout, you're going to be standing there. Sometimes you might not eat because you want to get through the work, right? Um, And so even certain schedules and consultations and Q&As, what you can start doing is using digital schedulers, um, like Calendly, and you can use that as a form intake, an intake form where you're taking in information about the client and then you set up a scheduled consultation. It could be 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to kind of get to know the client, especially if it's a first time client, and make them comfortable with you. Because again, if they found you online, they don't know you personally, and you have to start to build the trust from then on, from the communication. And respectfully, you want to make sure that the communication is clear so you do not have to repeat yourself. Because we know what happens when we repeat ourselves, it can cause irritation. And you're just kind of like over it when I know for me, like if I keep repeating myself about something, I start to dis disconnect, and that's not good for a client. And so you want to set those boundaries straight off the bat. And how we want to start setting like rituals to reignite our joy. For me, I like to go into the trees or go into the park and be around trees, water, and disconnect. And what that could look like for me, I do solo Sundays. And that just means I don't do anything that's related to work. If anybody sends me a message or email or anything like that regarding to referring to work, I do not answer it on Sundays. Most people, most people know, do not contact me on Sundays. I also keep my phone on do not disturb. If it's an important information or message, people can send me a text message and I can read that. But for the most part, I will get back to them on a day and a time that I've already set forth. And so what rituals can look like is going away for a mini staycation or vacation, wherever, but be around people that connect to your soul. And there's a difference between rest and restoration. Rest is when you need to sleep, you need to detox and just kind of disconnect. But restoration is when you find things that pour back into you and ignite that passion. So whether it's like going out for a run, but low impact things, but that is like, oh my God, get some flowers for yourself so it can kind of like you can smell that and feel like, oh my God, I love this. Or watch a funny movie that's going to uplift your soul spirit. So those are the things that I like to do when I'm in my restoration mode. And usually it is my solo Sundays. And as we wrap this solo episode up, I want to leave a book recommendation for you that aligns with this specific topic, and it is Rest in Resilience. It is a manifesto by Trisha Hershey, aka the Nap Ministry. It is a deeply healing, culturally affirming book that challenges hustle culture and reframes rest as a form of self-preservation and liberation, especially for Black women and creatives. It is a powerful reminder that rest isn't a luxury, it is a right. And with that being said, I am your host, Karyne Tenor. This is the Art of Braids, and I will see you on the next time. Have a braidiful day.